Hello, welcome back to the Fox Transperformance YouTube channel. I am Taylor Fox, and we are back at Power Build Warrington for another session. Really been trying to expand on the coaching library videos, exercises that we're prescribing, and I thought it would be a great idea to do kind of like 5 different variations as far as box squats that I've done or like prescribe for clients and stuff like that. So I set up to do a bunch of squats today. Maybe not the smartest thing on a cut, but I did indeed do a ton of squats and got some good variations in. So a big one that I have done of late is with the hip circle. So just doing the hip circle and kind of coming off the box up to the top of the squat under constant tension and then coming back down. I've also done the pause on the concentric just off the box. So I kind of combined the two here to warm up, but those are two separate variations that I've done as well. I've also done them together, and it can be very good to combine. But given that I wanted to work up and weight a little bit today, I think that would have been a little much. So I was like, we'll split those up. So did some kettlebell swings to get everything moving. Kind of something I'll put in as movement prep just to get the hips moving, get the glutes engaged. It's a pretty dynamic exercise, so it's nice to just like get after it like that and get everything going. Get some pop in my step and start moving on those, getting a little bit more explosive. So this is going to be the one with the hip circle and just come up and try to kind of keep that tension like you're doing a piston squat. If you follow the Power Build Coaching Instagram or my Instagram at all, you may have seen this post. If not, go check it out on Instagram. But I did a little like reel on these different box squat variations. The great thing about the box squat is that it breaks up the eccentric and the concentric, and then there's an amortization phase on the box. So you have those concepts of static overcome by dynamic, but you also get the relaxed overcome by dynamic, which Louis would always talk about as like a huge deal for just engaging the different muscle groups and the specifics for speed strength development, maximal effort development. So I really see it as a big positive. And then we have some variations in here as well where I kind of change that up and take out a little bit of the relaxed component. And I think it's just such a versatile movement that you can kind of tailor it however you want. Like if you're a lifter in USCPL and you want to, be more like focused on depth and being static in the hole, that's great. Like we can work with that for the box squat. Or if you're somebody like kind of a more wide stance, big time squatter, you need to work on that as well. Go for it. And then this is going to be the pause on the concentric. So just trying to lift yourself just slightly off the box, really engage that dynamic movement to pull yourself off, but then pause there still in that sticking point in the hole. Sometimes people will say like this is gonna like slow you down or teach you to lift slow. I've never really thought about it that way. I always like inherently just wanted to lift fast and did lift fast, so I've tried to train myself to be a little more comfortable with that time under tension, if that makes sense. And there might be some people that are comfortable with the time under tension and then just need more of the speed. But you kind of just have to pick the principles that work for you. And not to be a promo, but if you need help with that, I offer coaching through Power Build Coaching as well as on my own, whatever way you want to contact me would be great and I can help you out. And then this next one is involving hanging weights. Again, if you need that time under tension component, stabilization component, this one is for you. I'll often talk about like accommodating resistance as a big one for the box squat. throw the chains on, want to throw the bands on, be like a huge meathead, like you're training a wet side barbell. But a lot of people forget about the hanging weights and the perpetuation to stability, and it can be a very important training principle. So give that a shot. And then this is going to be a progressive depth drop. So this is definitely a good one if you're struggling with depth, very fixated on depth, like need to make sure that you're hitting it for competition. So did that one squat, a triple there, and then I pull one mat off, and then I'm going to do a double. And I was pretty fried at this point, so I was like, we're going to keep this simple and not too crazy. You know, this wasn't crazy weight, but after that set with the pause on the concentric and the other stuff, I was like, I'm done. And I'm like, you know, weighing in at 283 and like I got no carbs in me. So not trying to go crazy here. But again, this is more of a soft touch and just kind of hold that statically. We're not sitting back. We're not trying to relax things. Really make sure we hold tension there at the bottom. And then you pull that mat off next, and then we have to readjust to the lower depth and be able to sit into it. And this was something I remember like seeing like quads like Rob would do on a a regular basis, posting on Instagram, stuff like that. I think it's a good exercise. I think powerlifters, maybe even strongman, need to like focus a little bit more on like being comfortable hitting a good depth, but then also like kind of relaxing and not relaxing, but like settling into that hole a little bit more. So I definitely like this variation, and I think it can be helpful for a lot of people. And I'll certainly be prescribing it for clients in the near future. And then this last one is kind of like a combination accessory movement, although you could use it as a max effort movement for sure. I've definitely put a lot of weight on this kind of thing before, but it's going to be a box squat good morning combo. And I actually messed this up here. I was like, I forget what I'm doing. But you want to do the box squat, and then you want to do the good morning, and you want to switch back and forth. So if we were just doing the good morning, it would kind of defeat the point of being in a box squat variation video. But you want to involve the box squat here. And it can be pretty taxing, but that's why, like, got one plate on here, and we ended up going up to 2 reds, and I'll call it a day with that. But, you want to you can do like 6 to 8 reps each movement, something like that. I think 10 is a little much. Oh, and by the way, pro tip, which I didn't realize, take the ends of the handles off the transformer bar if you're using the transformer bar. The SSB yoke, Rep Fitness SSB, or the Titan SSB should be fine, but these handles are a little too long on the transformer bar. But yeah, so just kind of like a finisher with the box squat component, time under tension, being able to hold the bar on your back for a while, and then really a burner for the upper back with the good morning, the seated good morning. So this is all very good, like really just if you're doing a box squat session and then you want to really finish it off with a good variation that's a simple transition, like this is a great one. And like a lot of people, if you don't get pinned in the hole, like sometimes you get kicked forward as you're coming up with the squat, you need that upper back strength to be able to dig that squat out and not miss the lift. So these are all just like ways to kind of break down the squat as well and like make sure that we're training every aspect of it, because that's the point. We want to PR in meets and get stronger. And I always say like I can at least dig out that 2.5 kilo PR in a meet when I'm just kind of trying to like put pounds on my squat. And then we're gonna move on to some strongman high intensity interval conditioning to end. So I am doing farmers, deadlifts into farmer's carry, and then I will switch to the Echo bike and do my 30-second intervals, which have kind of been like my zone 2 30-30 for 10 to 15 minutes. But combined with the farmer's carry is obviously a little bit more of a high intensity thing. And I've liked this, like, I definitely need to be getting the cardio in if I want to be focused on this cut and actually get to the goals that I want. And sometimes it's just easier just to like smash things together and be like, I'm here to suffer, let's do it and get it all done. I did the similar thing with sandbag marching the other night when I was down at KOP. And this would be a similar thing, just put the bike near the area where you're working. Rogue Echo bikes are great because they roll around easily. Assault bikes are similar, and you can get it to the spot that you need it. Hit your sets with your strength movement, and then get on the bike and get after it. Go hard and finish strong and get through it. And I think this is a big thing. Like a lot of strongmen maybe need to pay attention to more. Alec, Jose, and Lucas Hatton certainly advise that this is a thing that people should be doing. You're seeing a lot of very, very good strongmen out there that are just brutally conditioned. I think everybody at the pro level is kind of like caught up to like that idea where we just need to be driving that forward, otherwise you're not going to last through a lot of these shows. Freaking Giants Live is way too fast. World's Strongest Man has way too many stages, and then even though it's absurdly heavy, like World's Strongest Man on Earth, like it's so many events, so it's like even though like it's very statically based, like you still need the work capacity to be able to get through it. You want to be conditioned because you're gonna have to move at least a little bit. Like we're not doing all events that stay in one spot. So I've really enjoyed this. Like it's easy to set up the Echo bike, adjustable seat, tracker, keep your time. I'll do 30-30s. I'm just doing the bike. Obviously transitioning here to the deadlift and then the farmer's carry, that takes a little bit longer. It's not really feasible to get back on the bike in 30 seconds. So I will do a minute rest or minute intervals. I mean, usually I've gotten to where I miss one round, so I'll just set it for 9 and then get 8 in, or like set it for 11 or 12. Make sure I at least get 10 in. And it seems to work out pretty well. And then, there are other days I'll do this just as like the only thing that I'm doing, conditioning at the end or standalone training session. It's an easy thing to get in, like especially if you're like me, you coach and you're working with a client and you just want to blast that out real quick, or like you only have 20 minutes in the gym, kids, jobs, different stuff like that. Get this in, get out, and you're good to go for the day. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, keep lifting those heavy weights and hold strong.